By saying take something off, I didn't mean clothes. This is a technical thing about our Zoom account. Seeing that might be the first thing that people hear when it comes. So I just want to clear that up.
We can edit this bit out. When we're recording it, we can say, no, let's trim the bit and just have, in fact, we can trim everything, get it down to you just saying, I am going to take off my clothes.
Yeah, we've invented a new game called Strip Coriolis. When you fail a roll, you have to remove an item of clothing.
Well, I spend darkness points, and for every darkness point, and I have got enough to see you guys totally in the buff.
I can't. Yeah, I could probably wear about 20 items of clothing, but not 30.
We haven't quite got 30 now. I think we spent a few last time. So let's start properly. Welcome, listeners, to the not live version of the Act 2 of the second adventure in Mercy of the Icons, Emissary Lost, after the adventures we've had on Beybasin. Do you guys want to tell me what happened on Beybasin?
Yes, Tony does.
In Beybasin, I should say. Beybasin isn't a planet. We're on Kua.
Yes, we're on Kua. So the
I think the TLDR is we won.
Yeah, there was a big fight. The city got attacked.
We were tracking down the guy who was sending the people from the pods.
Arthur Golem.
Yeah.
We tracked him down. He ran back to his office when the attack happened, clearly to collect some stuff. But we found him.
We managed to trap him on a bridge.
Yeah, I think.
But I'd already broken into his office and found some stuff anyway.
Yeah, so we found an invoice which basically gave us an address of where some goods, including some slaves, were being sent to. An address in Little Algol in the Cabal district in the Conglomerate.
Yep.
Oshian found some bars of, is it called neodymium?
Neodymium, yeah.
Neodymium,
which are used in stasis pods, apparently.
Is that quite valuable? Is that why you nicked it?
I think they are quite valuable, aren't
they? Yes, it is quite a valuable thing.
Now, it's evidence, Yaquob. I didn't nick it for the money. It's evidence.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well done.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's evidence until I sell it.
But then Janara and Adib and their chums came and successfully took over the city, defeated the gangster who was kind of vaguely in charge of the city before, Rakim Beybasin. I think as we left it, they were all happy that they had succeeded in what they were trying to do, and there would be a new utopian future for the inhabitants of Beybasin.
A new utopian future for the few people who are now in charge of Beybasin and can now make everyone their slaves, as opposed to the others making them their slaves.
And so the Shalka Gorilla are the guys you helped, and they have offered to repair your ship for you and to get you passage down the river in return for your help. So that's what's happening. And if I share a screen for a moment, I will show you the invoice that is the most pertinent bit of evidence that you have got. And can you see that there?
Yep.
So you are headed now on a barge down to your, well, I guess you could call it your hometown.
Yes, I think it definitely is my hometown. I think it was brought up close to the monolith somewhere in this
the sprawling conglomerate.
Is there, on this barge, Is there like a cabin that we can use, or a covered room, or a covered cargo deck or something?
Yeah.
What are you planning to do?
What are your plans?
Well, because I'm having had the experience of being pumped into space, and having had the experience of being left in the wilderness, I've picked up a little bit of agoraphobia. That's my personal problem. And if I'm sitting on this boat going down a big river, that's going to be big sky. So I want to get somewhere where there's a bit of cover.
That
Otherwise,
sounds very reasonable.
I'm not going to enjoy it. I also want to spend my time trying to break the lock on the Duga rifle that I took from that bloke, so I can then set the handprint reader to my hand and to Yaquob's hand, so we can both use the rifle.
Right.
Can we also have a rest and get our hit points back?
You can also have a rest and get your hit points back.
Well, I need that.
Let us deal with that Duga rifle. Why do you want to? Is the Duga rifle particularly good then, Dave?
It's quite, yeah. I mean, it's a very good sniper rifle, and yeah, I'm beginning to, as a character, to recognise the value of having good and powerful weapons,
as opposed to the player that's recognise the value of having good and powerful weapons.
Well, the
Since
player
I've known you,
character,
I think
we are one and the same, Matt. Me and Oshian.
yeah, you were playing quite against character. I thought when you first created this. Oh, sorry, I should say you were designing a character quite against the normal when you said, "I'm not going to be heavily into guns."
No, but I think the experiences of the last, I don't know how many days or weeks we've been on this investigation, have made it clear that having a big fuck off gun can be a real advantage. And
as is staying indoors generally.
As is staying indoors. And yeah, I miss the days of being on Coriolis where it's all nicely enclosed. Don't have to worry about big bright skies or being pumped into space. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you
So I
will
want to
have
use
to
my,
make some sort of roll there.
Yeah, I'm expecting that.
And I imagine, just for the fun of it, we're going to need a technology roll, and for the encoding thing, a data gin roll.
Well, I can have a go at the data gen side.
Okay.
Well, not the technology.
So I can break the lock, and then Tony can set the lock for mine and his hands.
Kind of. Well, a roll from each of you is what we're looking at.
Okay. Technology. I have tools. Do I get a bonus for tools?
Where are your tools from?
They were the ones I took off my spaceship.
Okay. Yes.
So they're my technical tools that I use for fixing the ship.
Yeah, I think you get a bonus +1.
+1 for that, and 1 for that. Okay. That gives me 3 successes.
Ooh.
It's a good start.
Okay. Yeah. So you managed to very carefully disable and remove the locks that stop you using it, and you could have fried the whole system and made it totally useless,
Right.
but you didn't. So now, Tony, you could reprogram the that with your data gen skill.
I should now try and reprogram the gun with my data gen skill.
So only you and I can use it.
Okay, I'm going to push that roll.
Okay.
I know it's early days to be giving Matthew more darkness points, but that lack of sixes. Okay, I have 1 success then. Now on my
1 success. Okay, for that 1 success, it's got a very small sort of secure enclave memory. One of you can have it palm printed.
All right, me then.
Yeah, you can have it.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Yaquob.
Okay, so that fills your time. Yaquob, you find a book on the shelves as well, which has a particular relevance to this time as you're going down the river, and you take a moment to read it. And I'm just going to read a little passage out, which kind of describes your voyage down the river anyway. We made our way through the outskirts a few hours ago and are nearing proper civilization. Traffic in the Delta has been more intense around the trading hubs further up and is now slowing down and evening out. A steady stream of fishing boats, river peddlers and barges are now accompanying us down the Ramishar towards our shared destination. At first, only a small dot on the horizon, it now towers, a mighty pylon pointing to the heavens. The monolith. Space and aircraft of all imaginable makes and models swarm around it like bees around a hive. As the shadow of the Colossus falls over us, the river narrows and the surrounding wilderness gives way to human settlement. A mixture of smells, cooking spices, sewage, incense, soap, cremation greet us, carried on the evening breeze. We have arrived in the shanty towns that surround the sphere of the icons, the bustling microcosm known as the Conglomerate. And that is a passage from My Journey Down the River, a Traveller's Account by Gianna Dolcran. But it kind of describes your experience as well as you're heading down towards Little Algol. And I guess we should get the map up and show you Little Algol too. So I will do that. Share the screen and pick that one up and make that full screen. There you go. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yep.
So you are heading down the Ramishar, which is this river in the corner here.
Yep.
Which is handy because the address you have is in Little Algol, I believe, and that is the first bit of the Conglomerate that you're going to encounter. Tony, Yaquob, you were a native of the Conglomerate. Whereabouts do you think you lived?
Well,
I think you lived on Pier 58 in Little Algol.
yeah, coincidentally. Well, I think I lived in. I don't think I had a kind of too grim upbringing. I think I was, until a reasonable age, I was brought up by my parents, who I imagine were traders of some kind, who, while not being particularly wealthy, kind of did okay. I don't think we were destitute. I probably lived not right next to the monolith, but in one of the kind of areas a little bit away, say Tugol, which is
Tugol or Ara, one of those two, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not in Covenant City, no, which is
no, not right by the
higher
monolith,
class. You might
sorry, say that again.
Sorry?
Say that again. What's Covenant City?
Covenant City, I said, is slightly higher class,
Yeah.
as it were. You might well have visited Covenant City if your parents are traders, because there's a lot of deal making done around there. There used to be. I mean, you will know that Little Algol, decades ago, after the Zenithians first arrived, it's where they built their initial city. So there's on the islands around Little Algol, there is the Zenithian initial settlement, which is known as Dignitary City, but it's gone downhill since then.
Mm-hmm.
Little Algol is like a suburb. It's also a port. There's kind of lots of stuff happening about you know that there's a lot of trade down here. There's a trade in slaves, which you think is kind of tied up with that invoice you found. So it's
Can I ask? I assume that the yellow lines are just kind of area boundaries. They're not walls or anything.
no. These are deadly electric fences that zap you as soon as you try and cross them, Dave.
Okay, excellent.
No. They're borough boundaries.
Tony can go first then. And the other thing, have I been here before? I'm thinking I probably haven't, because I think I probably, when I came to Kua, I probably went straight to Coriolis.
Yeah. I mean,
really left.
Coriolis is kind of the capital. This is this is the sort of thing that, as somebody who's taken quite a Zenithian outlook on life, despite your origins on an entirely different planet, this is the kind of place that you've always wanted to see.
Right. Okay.
So
it's an Ithian
I've
heartland.
probably been promising to show you around
Yeah.
for years, although I think it's probably quite a long time since I've been down here as well. I left at a reasonably young age, obviously learnt enough skills to get a job on a ship somewhere, and I was travelling around for quite a long time. And obviously when I came back, for the system I did go back to Coriolis rather than come back down to Pier. So I think I'm not sure how much it would have changed, but I think it's probably a few years since I've been down, I suspect.
Okay, cool.
We talked about smells, and there's a lot of smells in that reading, but you also notice as you get closer to your destination that there is a column of smoke coming up from one of the piers in Little Algol. You see it from some distance away, but as you get closer, you realize you're heading towards this column of smoke, and you're picking up a pretty foul smell, a mixture of...
Is it a cremation?
Dread thinking. No, it's not the relatively clean smell of a traditional cremation. It's, I say clean. You know what a cremation smells like. This is mixed in with chemicals and stuff like that. You can't be sure there isn't the smell of burning flesh there as well, though, in this foul stench.
Are we kind of going up sort of Pier 25, Pier 26, Pier 27, and that's at about Pier 58?
58.
Yeah, I think you're probably counting down from, I imagine, Pier 25 is kind of
further in,
nearer the city, and you're coming down here. So you are counting various piers as you go through. And neither of you know this area of town pretty well, but the fear does rise that the pier you want, Pier 58, may now be or have been burning.
Okay. Where is our barge going to be dropping us off?
Well, they had offered to drop you off at Pier 58. They've also got trade to do, but you can change your mind as you approach. You've got plenty of time to do that.
So on these piers, as we go past, are there kind of like warehouses behind them?
These piers are pretty big, so there are warehouses on them. Generally, there's a lot of trade on them. Each one is almost a port in its own right. There's generally people around there.
Can I use the sights from my Duga rifle as a kind of telescope and have a look? Try and see if I can see from a distance what's going on.
Cool. Okay, make an observation roll. And I'll give you a +1 because of your Duga rifle sights.
Well, the Duga rifle give me +2 to the weapon.
Well, it gives you a +2 for shooting people.
Okay.
I'll give you a +1 with you.
Okay, fair enough. I'll accept that. That's 8 dice.
A pair of binoculars might actually be the more useful thing for looking at things from a distance.
No, that's... Well, the whole point of a sniper rifle having a sight is to look at things from a distance.
And shoot them.
That's optional, presumably.
Just one success, but one success.
One success. Okay, so for that one success, I will describe the scene that you can see. Yes, there has been an enormous fire just prior to your arrival.
And is it still burning quite fiercely? Is it kind of in the middle?
No. It's mostly out now, as far as you can see. But you can see that there have been kind of fire crews putting it out, and people have been evacuated. There are potentially, there are people around who look like they've been evacuated out of some of the buildings. Some of the boats around these two particular warehouses have also caught the flames, and they look like they're pretty destroyed. And you can see stevedores are running hoses and operating pumps out of the river itself to spray water on what looks like really just putting out the smouldering ruins.
You said there was a lot of strange sort of chemical smells and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I might have found, finally, after 21 episodes, a use for my frigging environmental scanner. Reports the presence of any dangerous chemicals, biological threats, or radiation. So it gives me a +2 to survival to detect these things. So I'm going to take out my environment scanner, let it sniff the air, and let it tell me whatever it, I want to know what the composition of the stuff of these nasty smells is.
Okay. I will have to just quickly scan through, and
you'll have to make them up on the
yeah, I'm not going to make them up. I'm just going to point out things. So first of all, there doesn't seem to be any extra radiation. Yeah, possibly slightly higher than background radiation, but all within safe limits there.
Cool.
There is a lot of ammonia. Make a technology test to look at the sort of spectrograph of this thing.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you a +2 on it for your device.
Okay, that gives me 8 dice. I get 2 successes.
It's for 2 successes, you can pretty much work out that it is. You don't know exactly what it is, but you've encountered it in stasis beds. It's the cryogenic coolant that is used when putting people.
Okay. So basically, there's a lot of stasis beds, stroke equipment that's been burned here.
Potentially, yes, that's what it feels like. There are also other things that you can. There's a great spectrograph of things that you can boil down to. There's rolls of cotton that have been destroyed. There's opal that's been destroyed. There's petroleum that's caught, and that's that's probably from various fuel sources. There's plastics.
Is that from what the accelerant that the person used to burn it all, perhaps?
No, I think that's just there's a lot of vehicles around there. There's things that are caught alight alongside it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a record of that readout, like a print off or something, and put it in my pocket. So I've got a record of all of that. Evidential record, of course.
Yeah, there's some stuff there that when you're talking about accelerants, there are definitely evidence in that mix of sort of commercial accelerants that you might find in firebombs and things like that.
Right. Okay. This wasn't an accident.
So what are your plans? What are you telling the bargee about where you want to be dropped off?
What's the activity around the area now? Is there kind of like an official fire service or something that would?
Well, there isn't an official fire service. No, it's the stevedores who are operating, who've put out the fire. It's wound kind of down now. What they're doing is, with any large building fire like this, it takes days to go out. And they're kind of spraying areas with water. They're not spraying great hoses of water directly at the source of the fire, but they're kind of now sprinkling what looks like the ruins with fire. There's some people hanging around on the pier because they've been made homeless by this. But it does look like all the evidence you were looking for has been destroyed. Ha 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 ha! Darkness points. I've spent them.
Excellent. Good.
Oh, well, we gave it a good shot, so we just go home.
Yeah, we've tried quite hard to find Nora, haven't we? I mean, how much do you really care about her? You know, I mean...
Well, quite a lot, I suppose, if I'm honest.
Okay.
We'll go and have a look and see if we can see anything from the burned wreckage of this building.
So, I mean, the other thing, we do have names. So we've got them on this invoice. We've got Tubra Gutan
for
Niobe Hassam, and it's a Hassam kind of watermark on the thing. And we've got a location, Pani Square, Souk Habra. Do we know where Pani Square is?
Does
Yaquob know where it is? Is that like a
Souk Habra? Is that somewhere around the Conglomerate that I don't know of, or have I never heard of it?
Souk Habra is in
or cultural?
Is in the what's the word? Little Algol is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Okay, so Souk Habra is in the same area then.
Yeah, I can show you a picture. Give me a moment. I will screen share again. And in fact, it's accessible by boat because it's river markets. So you could you could ask to be dropped off straight there if you wanted.
And this is coming from. So, what was the name of the guy who was running it at the Beybasin end?
Arthur Golem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do something and pose to be messengers from him or something, perhaps.
Possibly.
So Arthur said to this guy, "This is the last delivery," rather than the other way around, wasn't it? In that note that we had.
That note was to Arthur, not from him.
Right. Okay.
It was from. Do you want me to call that one up as well to remind us?
Wouldn't mind.
If
Yeah,
you could, yes.
Okay, I will not go to that picture then yet. Give me a moment. I'll just find the other one. I'm
not very good with my filing system for the notes I've made in this game. So they're just all over the place.
Where is it? I might not be good with my filing system. I noticed it. There we go. So I will share screen and show you that one. Share screen, that one, share, and there you go. So it's to Akbar Artir. I humbly extend my sincerest gratitude to you for the excellent partnership between our two organizations in the recent segments. Sadly, pressing matters warrant an end to our arrangement with immediate effect. Complications on board the station have made going forward a hazardous affair. The accompanying cargo will be the last shipment to be handled as usual. We shall settle our outstanding debt in full upon completion and by our mutual acquaintances' verification of delivery. You have a reputation for keeping your books in excellent order. Thus, I feel obliged to remind you that all transcripts regarding our business in Beybasin or the Conglomerate must be destroyed. These precautions apply to all parties, yourself as well as the recipient and inspector of the cargo. Discretion is paramount for all our safety. I wish you the very best of luck in future endeavours, and that's signed with a simple S.
Did we ever come up with a theory about who or what S was?
I'm not sure we did know. And also looking at the invoice, there's another kind of mysterious personage involved, which is Q. So the delivery address for these, where they're going, is to Tubra Gutan for Niobe Hassam, but the invoice is going to someone called Q, and it does make a mention of where there'll be a deduction if the goods are damaged, and this will be reported by customer Q. Payment to S is via Q, so we don't know who Q is either.
No, I'm showing you the wrong thing there, aren't I?
That's something to do with magic. That might be a different game.
That's Versen, that is.
Let me just try that again. Share screen. I'll show the invoice, which you've had before. That is the invoice. Yeah. So we're seeing that?
We're seeing that
one.
Like a picture of the. Now we're seeing the invoice. Yeah.
Goy Kandra. So the name at the top. Goy Kandra.
Where are you looking?
The very top.
The very, very top.
Goy Kandra negotiation or Golkandra negotiation.
That is Archer's company. Effectively.
Okay. Right.
So Hassan is the delivery. It's that company, Hassan, there.
So they're the recipients.
They're the recipients, yeah.
The first recipients. So customer is Q. Payment to S. So we might be kind of Tubra Gulam might well be the intermediary between us and Q now, maybe. And then Q to S. So our route of contacts we've got to track down. Can we, I think we can get off the barge, can't we?
Yes.
Can we get them to drop us off on Pier 58 still?
Yes, of course. They're very happy to do that. They'll drop you off, well away from the burning bit, but the pier itself is pretty robust. So that's for them to do.
So I think we should go and have a look at the ruins and see if we can.
If there's anything we can salvage from that, yeah, I agree.
Well, because again, we're still, maybe if they're destroying evidence, there might have been people still here, and they might have been killed, and that might include Nor, possibly.
Yeah.
So we don't know how far ahead of Nor, how far Nor was ahead of us in going through this route. Possibly at least a couple of days, I think, wasn't it, when we were on Coriolis?
Yeah, so if you get this, you arrived at the, what they called the, can't think what they called it. You went down to the basement, you discovered a bunch of, names. You discovered a bunch of people there who were in the process of delivering the pods
to the planet,
that you then followed down to the planet. You think Nor had been in an earlier delivery of those pods.
We just don't know how far ahead.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think how much we got to make up.
A week or less, I think, because you've been you had that emergency call from Nor some time ago.
Yeah.
But you, of course, have been delayed by the fact that you were so unwell after going out into the vacuum space.
Yeah.
Considering I survived it, I think.
I don't think anybody's apportioning blame here.
No, exactly. We're all really slow because Oshian got busted into space. Bloody hell.
Yeah, and made such a fuss about it.
It's just the kind of thing
if you can't apportion blame, it's the person that blew open the blast doors.
Yeah, bastards.
And she was somebody whose name began with S, of course, but you never knew that because you just shot her with a automatic rifle.
I did, and I did very well until she then just got the fuck up. How she did that, I don't know. But yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll thank the guys on the boat. Is there? We need to get back to Beybasin to get the ship at some point. So we got an arrangement with them to take us back.
well, you have. I'll tell you what.
We got a contact.
You've been given a contact here in the city, who will be able to get messages to them, or indeed may be able to arrange stuff. But you have been told to. Hold on, I'll find out who you've been told to contact as a friend now of the Shakur militia. You have been told to speak to, I can't find her name.
You're doing a very good job at trying to draw that sentence out, Matt.
Speak to...
Damn it.
Damn it. Is that the guy's name?
Ijala Baku.
Spell it.
Ijala, Y-J-A-L-A.
Yep.
Baku, B-A-K-O-U.
Cool, thank you.
So she is another, she's at least allied with Shalkur's rebellion.
Yeah.
And is their contact in this part of town. So
cool.
She is somebody that you can talk with.
Okay. And we know where to find her.
Well, no, but you know that if you can ask around, you'll be able to find her.
All right. Okay, so we'll thank the guys for giving us the lift in the barge, and then yeah, let's go and have a look at the pier and the warehouse that's been destroyed.
Okay, so as you're approaching the warehouse, you see it's been burnt out, but it's still pretty solid. It's not necessarily sort of ruined, as it were. It's not collapsed. It's probably very dangerous to explore. It may collapse at any moment, but
is the whole warehouse kind of like Hassam Industries or Hassam Trading or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. What does it say there about their address?
Well, their address is Pani Square in Sukabra.
Yeah, that's a bit different.
This is Pier 58, so
Little Algol.
Yeah, these are definitely branded with Hassan.
Right.
There is covered in soot. If you go up to one of the entrances to them, you can see the Hassan logo there in some sort of enameled plate, which if you wipe away the soot, you can see more clearly, just like on the invoice here.
Yeah. Are there any people kind of like, any sort of crowd or onlookers, people watching what's going on?
There are kind of people, as I say, there's all the people monitoring the fire and spraying at the stevedores, and there's some witnesses, and there are some people as well that have been standing around not quite sure what to do after their boats have been burned.
So if there's someone who looks like a local or somebody who works here, or a stevedore who's just kind of watching what's going on, I'm going to kind of sidle up to him and just say, whatever time of day it is it evening or afternoon or?
What shall we say? I think, yes, it's afternoon, heading in towards the evening. Shall we say that for dramatic effect?
And I'm going to say, good day, friends. Seems there's been quite a disaster here. Has there been any, were there any casualties?
I don't know, he says. I'm just witnessing it. No, he'll say...
What's the word on the street? Is this Hassan? Is this someone got a grudge against these guys?
Yeah. Was this an accident or somebody? Is the word that somebody's done this on? deliberately.
I don't think he can judge that. He fears that there may be bodies inside. Some people escaped. Some people were pulled out. He says, but he was a late witness to it. That's his boat over there. He was saying his boat is a little bit charred, but livable in.
Ah, nice boat. Good boat. How many people were in there? Do you know?
No idea at all. It's it didn't have much of a. It was pretty empty. He thinks there wasn't much. It wasn't full of stuff. So there's no great financial loss, he says. But whether there's a loss of life, I honestly don't know. There's nobody here from the Hassam company to ask.
Really, that's quite surprising, isn't it? I think they would take more of an interest in their building burning down, that someone would be here
And you
to
think
assess the damage.
Yeah, but none have been seen. Maybe they're all inside and they were burned.
And you think there are still dead people? There are bodies inside, do you?
Well, I wouldn't want to go in there, would you? To check?
I might not wish to, but my icon may expect me to.
Suits you, sir. Remember that experience point you've just earned?
Well, the Lady of Tears does accompany the dead, and if there are dead in there, yeah, I think we should go and search for Noor.
I think we should go in. Yeah, definitely, let's go in.
Use that as a if somebody's trying to stop us, I'm going to use that as my reason.
Yeah.
So I want to find like a white poncho or something, because white is the right color if you're going to be honoring the Lady of Tears, which I'm intending to do.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, okay, let's we need to go and accompany the dead, console the living if there are any in there, and accompany the dead if there are dead.
That's the other point, that there may still be people alive in there who need help.
So
Maybe.
Can we get in?
Well, there is a door. It will require a force test to open. It's bent by the fire.
That's unfortunate.
Force. Yeah. Well, should we kick it together?
Yes, I think we definitely should kick it together. How many dice do you get in force?
I only get 3.
Yeah, so do I.
Do you want to
Give
roll
it a go.
one time? 4 dice.
Yep. 1 success.
That's all you need. You don't, you know, it isn't a very spectacular doors flying off hinges sort of thing.
That's
but,
not what I'm going for. Though.
Yeah,
No, we just want
there's
to open
enough
it.
space to get in there.
We're kind of going into, honour the dead and possibly help the living. So we're not looking for spectacular. That's
Okay,
fine.
now, as you explore this place, I'm going to need you each to take a dexterity test.
Oh dear.
Okay, it's not great.
No, it's not great at all.
Can we help each other with this? Is this about like negotiating broken floors and things?
Yes, it is, but you're each on your own here, I
We
think.
can't help each other.
No.
We're a team, though. Surely. Come on.
Yeah, well, you get.
Yeah,
to
we can go. Look,
philosopher
look
like
out
a
for that
Seneca.
dodgy
Well,
floorboard
exactly.
there.
Yeah, we could be holding on to each other's arms and.
Yeah.
Okay, help each other. One of you make a roll. One of you add 1.
Okay. I get 4. With
I
dex,
only get
and-
3, so
Okay, so it's me rolling for both of us then, is it? Okay.
yeah, with 1 die
Rolling
help
5.
from me.
Yeah, rolling 5 dice. Yeah.
But if you fail, you both fall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got 2 6s. Do you want me to show you? Because I'm rolling very well today.
Okay, so it is all very, very fragile. The interior floors have been kind of burnt out, but although they said they weren't empty, you do pull aside a bit of something falling down from the ceiling. You can't work out what it was. And you'll see there is a tank. And you've got your environmental scanner with you, haven't you?
Oh, you have? Yeah, absolutely.
So this is alerting you to the somewhat poisonous gas. It's kind of amber levels. It's not saying that this is poisonous that's coming off this. And this is that that coolant that you were looking for.
Okay.
You registered.
Okay.
And of course, that leads you can follow that through to where the coolant was being emptied from. And that is a blackened and burned stasis pod with a blackened body inside.
Okay.
Twisted in agony.
Is there anything that would identify this body?
Can you make an observation roll?
I can certainly try. So
Both you or can one of us help the other one?
I get 7 dice.
I get 6 normally. So.
Do we both roll, Matt, or can I get a die of help from Tone?
You get a die of help from Tony.
Okay. Yeah, should I do that, Tone?
Yeah. Do that.
Take a darkness point, Matt.
I will.
I'm going to push that. Okay, this time I get 2 successes.
Okay, so you discover nothing particularly on this body. Not what you really expected to see on this body. You recognize that this person is dressed as a stevedore, not as somebody who is necessarily being put into a stasis pod to go to sleep. It could be somebody who has used the stasis pod, hopefully to protect them from the fire, and then it hasn't worked out. It doesn't look like Noor. It looks like Sogoi. There's a bit of the sort of clothing that Jalea was wearing left. Okay. But yeah, you think it's a stevedore using somebody sheltering in there, but then getting kind of baked inside it.
No luck. Okay.
So they both were trying to hide in there when the building was burning and hoping that would protect them, but it didn't.
It's got a very odd cat noise outside. Can you give me a moment just to go and see what the hell's going on? Seeing we're not streaming, we can at least edit this out. Won't be.
We will edit that bit out, and we'll do that as purely Dave going to do the cat noise. How long do you want to play for? We've got another 20 minutes, I reckon. Here.
Yeah, I'm fine, really. That's right, because I'm working from home. I don't have to get up to about till 8:30 in the morning, so
yes, and then
reasonably
go
relaxed.
down the stairs, and you're at work.
Yes.
So, I'm still not working at all yet, but I think I may have a call tomorrow or Wednesday about what my job prospects are.
Oh, really? What's your feeling about that then?
Well, so my role disappears Wednesday, actually, not tomorrow. My role disappears probably. But we've had 45 days of consultation because so many people are being made redundant. So what I'm hearing on Wednesday is the initial results of that consultation. So the role that my role is being replaced with is a curatorial role that actually I quite like. But I know the curators weren't very happy with being merged with us. So my fear is that they're going to keep the two roles separate. And my role is going to exist again, but far fewer of us than I wanted. And in that case, I'm being pulled for a smaller number of jobs. And also, frankly, I'm not even sure I really want the job if there's going to be like 2 of us doing a job that 6 people used to in the region.
No.
So, the job is a bit different, but the things they're taking out of the job are kind of the fun bits. So
Yeah.
if it was being replaced with curatorial stuff, that would have been fine. But we'll wait and see what Wednesday has to hold.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So, yeah, you're for 2 dice. I feel for 2 successes, I feel you see a little bit more. Once you've seen this person in the hub, you now realise that some of the debris scattered around, there's another couple of bodies, actually, that you're stepping around here. There's another stevedore, you think, burned here. This stevedore's we don't have an investigation roll in this thing, do we?
No, I guess it's observation. isn't it?
No. This stevedore has got a knife wound as well, so it looks like they died from a knife wound before being burned.
Are they in a pod as well, are they?
They're not in a pod, no, they're on the floor.
Right.
And there's another body on the floor that does look like they're dressed for stasis. So it looks like the person in the pod threw the body through the person that was the body you discovered in the pod threw somebody out of the pod
To get in it.
climbed in.
But there was a fight to get in the pod, basically, because
There may have been a fight as well. Also, maybe 2 stevedores fought over who was getting into the pod.
and the body that looks like they were originally in the pod, how recognisable are they?
Is that no? I guess is the question.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering whether I'm going to spend darkness points. What would be a thing that could survive a fire that Nor might have on her body, Yaquob, that would make you think that this was her? Let us say straight away that stature-wise and size-wise, this blackened body looks about the right size as Nor. It was probably female like Nor was.
Maybe a ring that she always wore.
I thought you had that ring.
There's more than one ring in the world.
Okay, so...
Did she have a necklace? Did she have a deformity? Did she have like less fingers on one hand or something? Or
No, we'll go with the ring. So you're looking at her hands, and I'm spending 5 darkness points here.
5?
5?
Oh, that says bad.
You think this probably is Nor.
Okay. Think?
Well, it's a blackened body. You're not doing a DNA test. You could possibly do a DNA test, but...
We do a dental records thing, maybe?
I think, Tony, Yaquob, I'm going to want to make you make some sort of shock roll for this.
Yeah.
And so long since I can't remember what mind points are for in this game, but I'm going to...
I'm gonna start praying. As soon as I see on Yaquob's face that he thinks this is Nor, I'm gonna start doing a joint prayer from the Lady of Tears, both to console the living and ease the journey of the dead.
Okay.
In an attempt to try and help Yaquob cope with this.
So, Yaquob, I'm just going to make you, I think, make an empathy roll, straight empathy dice.
Okay.
Does he get a bonus or anything for my prayer?
No. I think we'll do this thing first,
Okay.
and then you see him suffer from that.
Okay. Matt just wants you to suffer first turn, doesn't he? That's what it is. That was quite a lot of darkness points, though.
Okay, so I'm just rolling empathy, yes?
Just rolling empathy, yeah.
I get no successes.
Do you want to push it? I'll have one of those darkness points back. Oh, no, it's not a skill roll. I'm not letting you push it.
No, I think.
So, yeah, I'm winging this one here. There's nothing for... Hold on, let me have a quick look.
Would he take mind damage, and then the empathy roll is basically an armor roll?
Maybe. Say that to me again.
So the shock would cause, I don't know, however many points of mind damage you want it to cause, but then his empathy roll is effectively armor, mental armor against that.
Okay, yes, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So he failed the roll, so he wouldn't mitigate any of the damage. But then it depends on how much damage you think the shock should cause to his mind points.
Okay, well, I spent 5 darkness points. So let's say, how many mind points have you got?
9.
Let's say you're down to 4 now.
Okay. And in seeing that, I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and start reciting the Lady of Tears poem. Prayer.
Have you got, there's an interesting thing there. I'm thinking like a command skill or something.
I don't have command, no.
Stealing this from aliens. Alien? Oh, dear me, I said aliens.
Well, there often are more than one.
Medicurgy?
No.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think you go through the motions then, and you say all the right things, and you say the right prayer, but I don't think it's going to have any effect on your mind points, Tony.
Right, okay. We do need to prove one way or the other that this is Noor, though, Yaquob.
How convinced am I that it's Noor?
You've just had 5 mind points of damage. I think you're pretty bloody convinced.
I think, yeah, okay. Whilst Yaquob remains shocked, I'm going to say a very quick prayer over the the 3 bodies, the other 3, and then I'm going to... Can I lift her body out of there without it falling apart? How badly?
You can either do it with your white poncho that you brought in, or you can go and get some more funeral shrouds. You know what to do about this, but you can wrap the body up in a way that keeps it separate from everybody else.
I'll use my poncho for that then.
Okay. Okay, so Tony, is there anything you can do, or are you just wailing a prayer to the Lady of Tears or to the messenger?
I think I am just probably saying a prayer. I don't know who I'm saying a prayer to. I'm just thinking of, I said I should have failed. I've failed. You were too slow. I've failed Noor. Failed my old friend.
Okay, I'm just going to give you a bit of a vision for a darkness point, which would normally go to somebody with mystic powers, but since you're in such a state, I'm going to give this to you. So as you're kind of zoned out and kneeling, I imagine, while Dave is doing all the work of preparing the body in front of you and wrapping it carefully in a ceremonial way, you kind of look at Dave, and it's kind of looking in a mirror, but an old mirror, and it's kind of, the silvering on the mirror has kind of faded and it's kind of foggy and misty. And it's almost like you could turn around and actually see Dave behind you in real life doing this, and you're looking in the mirror. Maybe you're in the mirror as well. It's all getting a bit odd. And there's a sound which starts off as kind of tinnitus, but then it gets a bit louder, and you can hear what feels like to be an extremely resonant voice. Hard to say whether it's male or female, but it's got a timbre that you can feel in your bones, in your skull, as well as here. And it's singing a sad song. Maybe it's the prayer that Dave's singing, but it doesn't sound like Dave. And you can hear as well water, and in this place you're confused. You know, that may be the water that they're spraying on the warehouse has started dripping through, but this sounds like water in some stone cave somewhere. And the song, you can start making out the words, and it says, "The tunnels lead only forward. Like an arrow leaping from its string, I steady myself for the journey's end, living still in death. All that was shall be again." And then you feel, and this is where you're getting your 5 mind points of damage, actually. You feel like incredible pain from your lumbar region up, shooting up your spine and into your head, and you're really short of breath. Have you ever been in stasis?
Have I ever been in stasis? Yes, definitely.
It feels a bit like what you feel when you're waking up from a prolonged period of stasis, that pain. And yes, and that's by the time that's finished, Dave is finally wrapping up the body. It'll take 2 of you to carry her out over this dangerous floor.
I guess we do that then. Unless there's anything else you want to do here, Yaquob?
I don't think so. I'm going to tell Oshian about the strange vision I've just had and how I feel. So I have no idea what it means.
Maybe it's Nor's last message to you, sent to you through the icons.
Maybe, in which case I wish I understood what it meant.
Maybe it's not meant to be understood.
Maybe.
There's no other signs of life here at all.
Not inside here, no.
No. And the place is gutted, so it's not like there's. Are there sort of like filing cabinets that haven't been destroyed or anything?
No, nothing else that I can see here.
And we found Nor in another stasis pod. Is that right?
No, she was the one that had been taken out of this stasis pod, apparently.
Okay.
Well, whether it's Nor or not, you may feel a bit skeptical, but Tony is convinced.
Okay.
You never met Nor, though, I don't think.
No. I probably came across her, but I don't suppose I knew her.
I have to go back 20-odd episodes to find out.
I'm gonna offer her up to the Lady of Tears in her guise of the butcher, and say if these dead people here had caused Nor's death, pulled her from this and murdered her, I cast curses upon them, and may you damn their eternal existence.
Okay, you can say that. Although, bear in mind that the person that was in the stasis pod fared no better than her outside.
No, but you know, I'm just saying, if these people pulled her out and killed her, then they deserve the Icon's wrath from wherever they are right now. Should we take her out and where did she come from? Where did your friend come from? Should we bury them here? Her here? Is he buried here? Would you want her buried, or would he be cremated? I guess.
Would it be cremated?
Well, halfway there. So saves on kindling, Yaquob. So yeah, always a silver lining.
Yeah, thanks, Oshian. You always know the right thing to say in a sensitive situation.
I've been trying. I've been praying a lot. Okay, let's bring her out then. Do you have family here still, Yaquob?
Probably distant family. I think my parents are probably long dead. I think that's probably why I left, or one reason.
So where are we going to take Nor?
I probably do have some, cousins or aunts and uncles still living around, I suspect.
I think what we need to do is find somebody.
Not particularly ones I've kept in contact with, though, necessarily, or I'm close to.
We need to find somebody who we can do either a DNA test or a dental records thing to confirm that this is or isn't Nor. And I'm guessing that, seeing we have a friend in every port, you must have a distant relative.
I definitely
who is
a someone, yeah,
forensic scientist or something here who could do those tests for us.
Yes, Nor's aunt is a forensic pathologist.
There we go. And she's a very good friend of ours.
Well, I mean, whether or not she's a very good friend is entirely up to Tony, but yes.
Well, up to our use of the talent, which is what I'm talking about. Our group talent is a friend in every port.
Yeah. But it's Tony's friend we're talking about here.
Could be my friend, though, couldn't it?
You've never been to the Conglomerate. Let Tony have a friend.
But I have a friend in every port.
We have a friend in every port.
I'm not trying to stop Tony having a friend. I'm just saying.
Well, thanks, because that would just be a bit rude, Dave, frankly, if you did.
Tony's friend's daughter.
That would just be brilliant.
Let him have a friend.
We have a very controlling relationship. I don't like it when Yaquob has other friends. You're only allowed other friends if I say so.
Yes, no, of course, Oshian, you're my best friend, obviously.
Oshian, yeah.
I have been punted into outer space for you.
Is that an O or a Q on that invoice about taking? I'm just beginning to wonder whether Oshian's been gaslighting you this whole time, Yaquob. Slowly getting rid of your friends. How was it that her father died?
Yeah, well, now you mention it, it was a funny story.
He was suffocated to death by some guy in a white poncho.
How did you know that, Oshian? I never told you that.
So what we're looking for is somebody who can help identify this body and work out whether it's Nor or not. We're also looking for a place for you guys to rest up.
Yeah.
And lodge for maybe a few days while you're investigating this further.
And then we need to go and find Tubragutan as well.
And so it strikes me that we should maybe finish this session by deciding who this friend is.
Okay.
They can have a place to stay. And if not actually being a medical pathologist, they know one or work with one or whatever.
Can access the right facilities. Yeah. Okay.
So Tony, it's all on you.
I think it is a relative of mine. I think it is probably an aunt or something that I've not necessarily kept in touch with that well, but a family, we help each other out when we
Your aunt or Nor's aunt or?
No, my aunt, I think.
Yeah.
This is where I was brought up around here. So I think it's a relative of mine, yes.
Okay, and is she an actual forensic pathologist or is she?
I don't think so. I don't think my family were quite that
She's the Attorney
professional.
General of the monolith.
Right, but it does strike me that you and your friend Nor's father grew up together in Tugol. So she has a sort of familial relationship with you, and actually, shall we say Ara, because Tugol's a couple of blocks away, as it were. Ara's sort of neighbouring.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I just kind of picked a random.
Yeah.
So just off the centre, so Ara is fine.
She's based there. You're going to have to organise some sort of transport there.
What's the scale of this map?
I have no idea the scale of this map.
It's
but
200
little
meters
square at
to
the
a
top is
small
200
square.
meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at probably a couple of kilometers, I guess.
Yeah, so it's not that far.
But you need some sort of
Stretcher.
palanquin or anti-grav cart or something at the very least, even if you're walking through the streets.
Are there kind of rickshaw riders?
Or a boat. Actually, you could get a boat into the heart of Ara as well. And there's definitely some of those.
Yeah.
Little Algol is mostly a boat thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So are they kind of like boat taxis? Can we just hire one?
Yeah.
Maybe that guy we were talking to wants a job.
Okay.
But maybe does he see us come out carrying a body, having said, "Oh, you'd be mad to go in there."
Yeah. Yeah. What are you saying about the other two bodies?
I can say, yeah, there are at least two for the dead people in there. I've prayed over their bodies for swift journey travel to where they're going, but the authorities might wish to go in and retrieve their physical forms.
Well, the stevedores here are interested in hearing that there's a couple of stevedores in there.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they're all part of the same, Freely Union or whatever. So they ask you about where they are, and they'll say they'll deal with them. And so...
Careful. It's very dangerous in there.
Yeah, point out the thing that you saved.
Didn't fall in. Yeah.
Shall we call that quits then for the evening and start off in the morning at your aunt's place? What's your aunt's name?
I have no idea. I should have to think about that.
Do you want to use the random table tone?
Yeah.
So roll D66 twice and we'll get a name.
25.
Abdel Majid.
Abdel sounds more male. Female?
Majid maybe? Could be female.
Majid.
And surname tone, roll again.
42.
42. Aranites.
Well,
Majid.
If she's your aunt, Yaquob, she might be Majid Nassar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, although I'm not quite sure what the conventions are about people changing names when they get married and that kind of stuff.
Well, let's keep it simple.
Majid Nassar. She is.
Okay, cool. Do you get a darkness point for us using that talent?
Yes, I do.
I think you probably do. I'm
just
going to check.
Yeah, let's check.
10.
Yeah, GM gets 1 DP per use, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just counting them up. 5, 10, 15, 21.
Okay. That's better than I thought.
Yeah. I did just spend 5 on...
I know. That was quite generous spend, actually, yeah.
Yeah, although I'm quite upset now, to be fair.
Well, let's confirm that it really is Nor first.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I know you're sure it is, but it might not be. There is a flicker of doubt in there for now.
Let's stop the recording.
Cool.
Oh no.
Bye.